100 degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degrees, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
Y'all know I gotta run it back. Get in here. Y'all know I gotta run it back. Get in here. Let's go.
It's your 100 degrees. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping 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 this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your 100 degrees, shining bright. Set the stage, Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling 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 and sipping this tea.
What's good, Diamond Gang? What's up? I missed you guys. I couldn't go live at all. I did 16 hours yesterday, so I got home super duper late. But I got a show for y'all tonight, and y'all know I always give it to Trump. But tonight I'm on Congress' head. I'm on their head. I got a couple of clips that gave me a different insight on everything, and Yeah, Congress is something else. That's all I'm gonna say to that. I want to say welcome subscribers, anybody new coming in. Shouts out to my moderators. I love y'all. And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. There's a lot going on. And this live stream is called Who's Lying? Okay. Is it the US? Is it Iran? Let's get into it. So I'm gonna pull up my screen, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Let's get into it. So we're gonna wrap up last week, and this first clip is everything Trump said last week. Let's get it.
This is The Week in Trump. No jokes or commentary, just a dry, matter-of-fact list of Trump administration shenanigans this week that we would otherwise forget next week for the week ending March 14th, 2026. Pete Hegseth said of the war in Iran, this is just the beginning. Trump suggested without evidence the missile attack on a school was by Iran. He wore a baseball cap to a dignified transfer. He refused to rule out a draft. He said the war with Iran was very complete, pretty much. He used 6 years old as his example for when girls are of age. He said of the war in Iran that we are ahead of our initial timeline by a lot. He said some people who died by roadside bombs are right now walking around with no legs, no arms. When asked to clarify how Iran got a Tomahawk missile to bomb its own school, he said he didn't know enough about it. He referred to Canada's prime minister as the future governor of Canada. It was revealed the DOJ under Pete Hegseth spent $93 billion in one.
Yeah, Trump said everything he said without a doubt.
1 month, including $15 million on steak, $7 million on lobster, and $225 million on furniture. An internal inquiry found actually it was the U.S. that bombed the school, to which Trump now responded, I don't know about that. The DOJ restarted a program to restore gun rights to felons. Trump encouraged oil companies to risk sailing through the now dangerous Strait of Hormuz. He gifted shoes to his staff after guessing their sizes. He called
Some of their shoes was too big and some of their shoes were too small.
Called the war in Iran an excursion, said the Strait of Hormuz is in great shape while ships were being targeted. He said when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. He said it's inappropriate for the Iran soccer team to come to the World Cup for their own life and safety. The White House released a propaganda video combining war footage with video games. On the evidence the U.S. was responsible for bombing the Iranian school, Pete Hegseth said, we're not going to let reporting lead us or force our hand in.
And right now they are threatening the media something serious. And I mean something serious.
Indicating what happened and blasted the press for not being patriotic enough. Trump described domestic terrorists as, quote, there's something wrong there. The genetics are they're not exactly your genetic. He said we'll end the war in Iran when he feels it in his bones. He called Iranians deranged scumbags, and it's an honor to kill them. He referred to a journalist as maggot and a sleazebag. He reportedly told G7 leaders Iran was about to surrender. He announced.
And this is our president, gang. This is our president.
Announced a massive bombing campaign telling Iran to save what's left of their country, which isn't much. The White House demanded a retraction from ABC about possible Iranian counterattacks in California, admitting no such threat from Iran to our homeland exists. In depositions, former DOJ employees said they relied on ChatGPT to identify grants to cancel, struggled to define DEI, and admitted they ultimately failed to reduce the deficit. And Trump posted that he's destroyed 100% of Iran's military and now hopes other countries will defend the Strait of Hormuz. Let me know what I missed in the.
Right now, he's struggling trying to find someone to help us. He's even threatened. Okay, let's go.
Comments.
For a guy who ran very specifically on no new wars, what do you make of this change of heart?
Well, he said no regime change, no regime change wars. No.
Now, this is where I started to look at Congress. Pay attention to what he say, gang.
New wars, and now he's at 8 and counting. He's hit Iran twice. I think the most important story in the world is that Donald Trump can do anything he wants with the most powerful military the world has ever seen, and nothing is stopping him. Congress is completely failing, and I think Americans are outraged with
that part right there. Congress is completely failing. Completely. He's just one person. One person.
Republicans most of all, of course, but the Democrats too, because they,
like he said, it's both parties, Democrats and Republicans.
When he went to war, when we started this war, and it is a war, okay? Don't believe the spin and the crap coming out of the White House. He did it on a Saturday. They didn't even come back into Congress. They didn't interrupt their weekend. The members of Congress were in their mansions and they're posting tweets. They couldn't even have an emergency.
That part. There was no emergency meeting, nothing. That part. This perspective right here made me think about a lot of things.
Session of Congress to discuss the new war. At least the UN called the Security Council and had an emergency session. Our Congress didn't even get back together. They're supposed to be a check. They're supposed to be a guardrail. They're not even a speed bump. They're supposed to be the guardians of our democracy. They're like the mall cops of our democracy. They're not even writing tickets. He is all gas.
They talk a lot of stuff, but to be honest, they act like they're scared of him.
No brakes, right? And he's blowing past them.
Wouldn't you say that Congress, regardless of party, has kind of self-emasculated itself when it comes to this? I mean, it's taken away its own powers and ceded it to the executive branch, mainly because they don't want to be on record pro or con for any war.
Well, listen, I'm going to be one of those Democrats that say I think both parties have been feckless.
Again, both parties. Both parties are at fault. Not just Republicans, not just Democrats. Both.
In allowing the growth of the power of the presidency. But let's put this into perspective. Nothing Obama did, nothing Trump did even in his first term, or in any way relation to what we're seeing right now. The biggest military...
I got to stop. You said, no, protect your own ships.
engagement of our country since the war in Afghanistan. Literally, you see with what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz right now, as the biggest gumming up of the oil markets we've ever seen.
And let me tell you this, guys, we're going to get into it, but the reason why our allies are not helping us is because they're making their own deals with Iran. They feel like, Trump, you started this, you said you didn't need us, and now you need us. So we're going to get into this.
Consequences strategically for us moving so many assets in the region means that we're endangering the assets we have necessarily in potentially in other areas. This is a massive military undertaking costing American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars, tragically costing 13 lives. So I understand past presidents have drifted and taken power from the Article 1 branch of government. But at this scale, at this magnitude, at this cost, why is Congress just laying down and doing nothing? Because if we...
That part, that's why I said in the beginning of this live, it's not just about Trump. It's about Congress, this live stream. They are literally doing nothing.
Allow this to happen, then we give Trump the permission to say, okay, finish with Venezuela. I went to Iran. Now I'm going to go to Cuba. Now I'm going to go to North Korea. It is outrageous and never conceived.
And because he did so well in Venezuela, he thought that this was going to be cut. It was just going to be, boom, done. He didn't think that they were going to resist this hard. He never expected this at all.
That we could have this level of a military engagement without the people's house, Congress, doing something about it.
You need 60 votes, right?
Again,
do you even have 50? I mean,
well, again, the chance for success. I really believe what a great faith leader once said. I was called to be faithful, not to be successful.
Do me a favor, guys. Diamond Gang, please hit the like. I'm not on here asking for cash apps, even though my cash app is up. If you want to support the channel, you can. I'm not asking for super chats nor super stickers. I just need a like. That's it. I'll be happy with that.
We need people that are going to stand up and fight for the Constitution and stay faithful to the oaths we swore, not be complicit in a reckless, out-of-control president who's causing chaos abroad and rising costs at home.
It is, I think, increasingly clear.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention, okay? This was super bad timing. Had he would have done this around the time when he did the Venezuela thing, we would probably get a better outcome. There probably would have been a change in regime, but I thought this was a great, excellent point.
Now that the American administration has made some key misjudgments, some miscalculations, and some mistakes of timing over this Iran conflict. A few points here. First, Venezuela.
You gotta be strategic. You gotta be.
The president was buoyed by his Venezuela operation in early January because it went spectacularly well. The leader, Maduro, removed, and the deputy, Delcy Rodriguez, then became a compliant puppet leader for the Americans. But Iran...
That part, she became a puppet leader. Guess what? Iran is not going for it. They're not. They want to make decisions.
Is not Venezuela. The supreme leader has been replaced by his harder line son, as former American general.
There's a $10 million bounty on his head. On his head right now.
David Petraeus said this past week, we were hoping for Delcy Rodriguez. Instead, what we got is a young Kim Jong-un. The second point on timing also relates to Venezuela, because that is where the American military hardware was concentrated earlier this year when the uprising in Iran was taking place. Now, had the president made his move on Iran during these protests, and he couldn't because the military focus was in Venezuela, well, then he might have been able to achieve regime change. And he might also...
It would have been a better outcome. This was bad timing, very bad timing.
Have got his allies to support him too, because part of the challenge for America right now is that European allies are both wary of how all this is unfolding, but also on the back foot because America didn't involve them. And now...
And it's so crazy because Russia is helping Iran and Trump just did them a big favor. And we'll go into that. But Trump today said that Russia's scared of us. No, they're not. Let's go.
It needs them. The final point is about definitions of victory. Because for America, for Trump, victory is the complete defeat or capitulation of the other side. But for Iran, victory is defined differently. Victory for them is about resistance.
What they're doing right now, resisting nonstop. They are not stopping.
And politically, militarily, Iran right now is resisting more than the Americans had ever expected.
Y'all see that? $10 million bounty. They haven't seen him. They say he injured, but there is no proof, Diamond Gang, none.
I don't think this president really anticipated well how this would go. He didn't have a strategic plan. He didn't even factor Russia into this entire calculation. You were talking about earlier how the Russians are going to benefit from this, and I can't imagine.
And they are, and I'm going to show you guys just how they are a little later on in this live stream.
And there was any thought to the war in Ukraine between Russia, because, you know, we have a president that doesn't think strategically, and he doesn't seem to know all that much. You know, this talk of unconditional surrender, I think you highlighted how ridiculous it is and sounds, because it's a ridiculous statement for him to make and for his press secretary to echo.
Ago. And let's also remember that in the past, Iran's nuclear program was contained without a shot being fired. And President Trump thought he could get.
And it has been contained for 40 years until now. 40 years until now. Let's go.
Get a better deal than the Obama administration did. He failed to get that better deal. And he went off and launched a war without planning, without being ready for even some of the most basic things. I mean, it is a certainty that the military would have advised him that the Straits of Hormuz would have been closed, that was a likely scenario.
Diamond Gang, he never anticipated this. And this is where we are. Because other countries do not want to get involved to help us, and because he told them he didn't need them, this is why.
And yet they're talking about this and clearly acting as though they didn't think this would happen. The Secretary Hegseth went so far as to say that the Strait of Hormuz is open, other than the fact that there would be fire against.
And it is opened. It's just not open to us. It's just not open to Israel. It's not open to any of our allies that's helping us. Let's go.
Vehicles transiting the strait. This is clearly amateur hour at the Pentagon and in the White House. And again, the price is being paid by all of us. You can also just tell from the administration's attitude toward this war, the fact that they're putting out videos treating this like a video game. It's not a video game for the families of the fallen. And then just this week, we saw campaign fundraising materials being put out, emails where the president's committee, the president's political operation, was raising money off of images of him in a dignified transfer.
And we're going to get into that too. People are livid about that. He used those photographs for campaigns. Let's go.
Any politician who does that has no business leading American troops in the war. If the president is willing to raise campaign funds,
that was disrespectful to that soldier's family.
Over the bodies of America's war dead, he is unfit to be the commander-in-chief.
Will the Straits of Hormuz remain closed so long as this war continues?
Pay attention, because he's going to say it right here, clear, cut, and dry.
Well, as a matter of fact, the Strait of Hormuz is open. It is only closed to the tankers and ships belong to our enemies, to those who are attacking us and their allies. Others are free to pass. Of course.
And I'm going to tell you right now, again, they are making deals with them, the countries that don't want to get involved. They are talking to Iran. I'm going to show you. He says it, that they are talking. He didn't name specific countries, but they are talking and getting the way to the oil.
Many of them prefer not because of their security concerns. This has nothing to do with us. And at the same time, there are many tankers and ships who are passing through the Strait of Hormuz, and I can say that the strait is not closed, but it is only closed to.
Please, gang, can y'all hit the like for me, please and thank you. That's all I want is a like. I'm bringing a lot of information, a lot, and it has taken me time to get these clips and put them together. I'm asking for a like, not a super chat, not a super sticker, just a like. Please and thank you.
American, Israeli, ships and tankers, and not to others.
Countries have responded to Donald Trump begging for help in Iran, and they're telling him to go pound sand. Now, if you...
A lot of them are saying, you started this. We're not helping.
Missed it this morning. Donald Trump woke up and decided he would beg our allies for help in his war in Iran, specifically in the Strait of Hormuz, to escort tankers through. Well, nobody responded, so Donald Trump decided to ask again, saying, quote, the USA has beaten and completely decimated Iran, both militarily, economically, and in every other way. But the countries of the world that receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage, and we will help a lot. Yeah. Well, Donald Trump said that, and countries started to respond. The UK, France, Germany have all said they're not sending any ships.
Did y'all hear that? They're not. They're not getting involved in this. We're in trouble.
Essentially telling Donald Trump, you started this war. You got into this by yourself, said you didn't need our help, said we couldn't help you if we wanted to. Now you're begging. You figure it out on your own.
That's the worst thing, is to be cocky as hell and then need somebody's help. This is serious.
Donald Trump is in the find out phase of what it means to turn on your allies. And now that you need their help, surprise, surprise, they're not there.
When we talk about the Strait of Hormuz, which is such an important transit point for global trade, you have said
Listen to their foreign minister. He's going to tell you again what's going on, and that he is talking to other countries about them getting through.
It is closed to Israel, and it's closed.
The deal is they just can't help us.
To the United States. The Financial Times is reporting that European diplomats from France and Italy are talking to your government about trying to get safe passage for their.
Did you hear that? France and Italy. I just told you the clip before. They told Trump no. He's going to tell you right now, but he's not going to say their names. They are talking. Let's go.
Airships. Are you open to restarting oil and gas vessels going through there?
Well, we are open to countries who want to talk to us about the safe passage of their vessels.
You are negotiating with France and Italy?
Well, I cannot mention any country in particular, but we have been approached by a number of countries who want to have a safe passage for their vessels, and this is up to our military to decide. And they have already decided to let a group of vessels belongs to different countries to pass.
Did y'all hear that? On one condition, they can't help us.
In a safe and secure. So we provide them security to pass because we have not closed this strait. They are not coming themselves because of the insecurity which is there because of the aggression by the US.
We have some news right now. The average price of a gallon of gas in the United States has hit $3.70. Now the highest in nearly 1 year since April 2024 because of the war in Iran. Gas prices are only set to continue to rise, which means jet fuel prices are set to...
They're going to keep going up because we can't get help. Hit the like, Diamond Gang. I need y'all to hit that like. 32 likes, and I got almost 250 people in here. Come on. It's just a like.
Continue to rise, which means it's going to be more expensive to drive a car. It's going to be more expensive to buy a plane ticket and much more. But that's not all. Donald Trump, over the past 24 hours...
Pay attention. He begging.
...has been publicly urging America's allies and adversaries, folks like China, France, Britain, and more, to send warships to the Strait of Hormuz, to unblock the Strait of Hormuz and allow oil to pass through. Has he gotten any responses yet? The answer is no. And the responses that he has...
This is crazy, gang. This is crazy. We have no help.
...has gotten from places like Japan, they say there are going to be major hurdles to make that even happen. It's not going to...
And then the country that's giving Iran bombs, it's drones and stuff, you want to help them. Wait till you guys hear this. He's helping Russia.
...to happen. As always, spread the word. Link in bio to my Substack. Subscribe for free to support my work. And as always, follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
Iran just made a major power move against Donald Trump in his own war as they appear to stay one step ahead of him. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has begged our allies to send their warships to the Strait of Hormuz to escort oil tankers through to help ease the rising global oil prices. Well, Iran has sent out a counterproposal to countries, letting them know they will not attack their ships, that any ship can get through the Strait of Hormuz if...
Pay attention. I just told y'all this. Hit the like.
They meet two conditions. One, they must not be affiliated with the U.S. or Israel. And two, they must trade in Chinese yuan instead of the dollar. If they meet those two conditions, they won't be touched. They're letting the world know you don't need to get involved in Donald Trump's war. We won't bother you if you don't bother us. And so far,
that's checkmate. That's checkmate. Oh, excuse me, checkmate on the U.S. They never thought that they would do this. They underestimated Iran, Diamond Gang. Underestimated them.
The rest of the world has not sent warships. And this is a major move because Donald Trump got into this with no plan. Make no mistake, we are absolutely crushing Iran militarily. We are destroying them.
And I'm going to let y'all hear him lightweight threaten other countries that if you don't help.
But when it comes to the political battle of this war, Donald Trump is losing big time.
Donald Trump just did an exclusive interview with NBC News and gave updates on the war in Iran, and it doesn't seem like this war is ending anytime soon. So first and foremost, he said he doesn't want to make a deal. Quote, Iran wants to make a deal, and I don't want to make it because...
And this live stream was called Who's Lying? Because Iran is saying, we didn't do none of that. None of what he's saying. That did not happen. I'm going to let you guys be the judge.
Because the terms aren't good enough yet. He said, adding that any terms have to be very solid. When asked what the terms of a potential deal to end the war would be, he said, I don't want to say that to you. On the closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran, Trump said that he's asking numerous countries that are affected by the thuggery of Iran to help secure the strait. He said that several countries have committed to helping secure the strait.
Another lie. He said that several countries committed. Then later on, he said, oh, some of them didn't want to do it. And I said, don't you remember when we protected you? And I'm going to play that as well. Let's go. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. If you want to support the channel, my Cash App is pinned at the top. You can give a super chat, super sticker to support the channel.
Straight, but declined to name any of them. He added, quote, they've not only committed, but they think it's a great idea, but still won't tell us which countries he's referencing. He also questioned whether Iran's new supreme leader is even alive after he did not appear on camera to issue his first statement as Iran's leader on Thursday.
Nobody knows that. I'm searching and searching. Nothing. There's no news on him.
He said, quote, I don't even know if he's alive. So far, nobody's been able to show him. I'm hearing he's not alive. And if he is, he should do something very smart for his country, and that's surrender. But he called the news of his death a rumor. And he said more in this interview. But number one, he obviously has no idea what he's doing. Number two, he's lying about deals being in place. And number three, he has no interest in ending this war anytime soon. So I will keep you folks updated, but that's where Donald Trump is, apparently.
We have some big news right now. More countries are coming out and saying we're not going to help the United States of America.
Again, more countries. This was earlier today. Now, I had gathered some clips last night. When I woke up, things start to, So this was earlier today. More countries are saying, no, we're not helping you. Let's go.
In the Strait of Hormuz in Iran, Germany's defense minister has now just come out and essentially said, it's not our war to fight. We didn't start this war. We're not going to go into it. A number of your
Boom. So Germany, please hit the like coming in. Please hit the like. Please and thank you. I'm at 34 likes. Please hit the like. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
European frigates are not going to help anyone when the powerful U.S. Navy can do it, essentially. That's what he said. So we're in a situation now where Germany...
So Germany basically said, y'all so powerful, get your Navy to do it. We're not doing it.
The UK, Australia, France, and Japan have all said they're not sending ships to the Strait of Hormuz.
So let's go back. UK, France. We can't get no help to save our lives. Come on.
Germany's defense minister has now just come out and essentially said, it's not our war to fight. We didn't start this war. We're not going to go into it. A number of European frigates are not going to help anyone when the powerful U.S. Navy can do it, essentially. That's what he said. So we're in a situation now where Germany, the UK, Australia, France, and
Japan all said no. They said no, figure it out.
Japan have all said they're not sending ships to the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump is threatening NATO with a very bad time.
And I have that as well, NATO. He's threatening them. And I have that clip. I will show you guys.
Because they're just not fighting America's war for it. And I guess my thing is that Donald Trump has spent the past year, right, attacking America's allies, attacking European partnerships, alienating America on the world stage, attacking NATO, attacking Ukraine, all this stuff.
This is what I'm saying. You have to be careful what you do and say to people. That's just the general rule in life.
And now when America needs our allies to come in and help, they're saying, no, you just spent the past many months putting tariffs on us, attacking us, isolating yourself.
This is what bullies get. This is what bullies get. Again, we are in trouble. I'm telling you, if you guys think this will be over in 2-3 weeks, think again.
So why would we help you? It's a pretty stunning moment. And it's not a surprising one either. Spread the word, follow for more.
President Trump says that other countries should now step.
Now listen to her reasoning. Listen to her reasoning.
Up to safeguard ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Why should other countries that weren't consulted about this war, that are involved in this war, now put their troops in harm's way in the Strait of Hormuz?
Because these other countries are benefiting greatly from the United States military taking out.
How? When they could just go ahead and speak to Iran themselves and go around it. They don't have to help. They can go around it. And most of them are. They're speaking to Iran to get there.
the threat of Iran. The rogue Iranian regime has long not just posed a threat to the United States of America, but of course to our Gulf and Arab partners in the region. As you see, I believe Iran has struck more than 300 civilian targets in the Gulf region. If you think about Europe, their ballistic missile capability that the United States military is currently wiping out was a
Diamond Gang. Look at the reporter looking at her like she crazy. Like, girl, you playing hopscotch all over the board. Just get to the answer.
direct and imminent threat to our European allies as well as our bases in the region, which is why President Trump took this action in the first place. So these countries are absolutely benefiting from ensuring that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. This is something not just the United States, but the entire Western world has agreed with for many, many years. So I think the president is absolutely right to call on these countries to do more to help the United States to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Remember, he bullied them. He told them we don't need you. He raised tariffs. He did all these terrible things and then knocked on the door and said, could you help us get through?
So that we can stop this terrorist regime from restricting the free flow of energy. And the fact that they are doing so just underscores why President Trump needed to take this action in the first place.
But the president just told the UK a few days ago that he doesn't need their ships.
Did y'all hear that? He just told the UK a couple days ago, we don't need you. Baby.
He says he does?
The president spoke on that last night. He said that he wished the UK had stepped up sooner and quicker, but he continues to speak with our allies in Europe and is calling on them to do more, just as he did when he called on them to step up with respect to their defense spending in NATO. He's calling them to do more here, and I think you'll see
he's threatening NATO.
That come to fruition.
We turn now to the war with Iran entering its third week. The U.S. and Israel bombarding Iran. The Pentagon says it has reduced that country's missile capacity by 90% and its drone capability by 95%. But Iran not backing down, lobbing retaliatory strikes like this one.
As long as they got Russia helping them, they're going to keep getting drones and whatever else they need. But they claim that Russia's getting short. However, Iran just keep popping up with them. Let's go.
In Tel Aviv, here's ABC's chief international correspondent, James Longman.
No end in sight on day 16 of the war in Iran. Israel and the US expanding the scope of the operation. Dozens were reported dead this morning in an Israeli strike on an industrial site in Isfahan. That's according to the semi-official Fars news agency. And here, this residential...
And again, with Iran, it's just resistance. That's what they feel when they resist and they don't submit. They feel in their minds that they won. So they're not going to stop.
Neighborhood in Tehran devastated. Iran continues to lash out in response. A strike on Israel today escaped missile defense systems over Tel Aviv. The Israeli foreign minister had this to say about the country's famed Iron Dome, reportedly running short on ammunition.
Can you confirm or comment on reports over the weekend that Israel has informed the United States that it is running low on missile interceptors? Is that correct?
The answer is no.
But the global impact of this war is playing out here at the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian attacks have essentially closed this vital waterway. The longer ships can't get through, the wider the ripple effects. The administration adamant, saying the war must continue.
Hey, there's no guarantees in wars at all. I can guarantee this situation would be dramatically worse without this military operation to defang the Iranian regime.
President Trump called on world powers to help keep the strait open, but tonight none have committed to that publicly as the White House faces...
Nobody's committing. They're like, get it how you live.
questions about why they didn't take steps to protect the critical shipping lane ahead of the war. UN Ambassador Mike Waltz says countries who rely on the oil coming through the strait...
And this is all about thinking strategically. They never even thought to protect that. They never even thought that Iran would do this. Underestimated.
Need to step up.
Well, I'll leave those conversations to him. The conversations are ongoing. I think there's an important point that's getting, kind of missed in the conversation.
Israel's front in Lebanon is tonight expanding too, as fears spread among the...
Carlson, Russia is helping Iran. They've already said it. Russia is helping Iran.
Lebanese that Israel will occupy the south of the country in their campaign against Hezbollah. More than 800 people have been killed here.
And Mary,
where do you think they're getting those drones from? and making those attacks. Where do you think they're getting them from, Carson? Or Cars? I called you Carson, Cars. They're getting them from Russia.
As President Trump tries to expand a Western coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, Iran is finding help of its own in China and Russia. Iran's foreign minister said today the military cooperation with both countries continues. Mary?
And lots of questions about that cooperation. James, thank you.
Numerous countries have told me they're on the way.
You hear that? Numerous countries told me that they were on the way. They're not on the way, gang.
Some are
Hit the like. Hit the like.
very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources.
He sound like daggone, like a gangster, like Al Capone or some daggone baddie. Let's go.
And they weren't that enthusiastic. And the level of enthusiasm matters to me. We have some countries where we have 45,000.
Now that part I could get with Trump on, because if they're not enthused, they're not going to do their job.
Soldiers, great soldiers, protecting them from harm's way. And we have done a great job. And when we want to know, do you have any minesweepers? Well, would rather not get involved, sir. I said, for 40 years we're protecting you, and you don't want to get involved in something?
40 years, no, every president kept it cool.
Thing that is very minor. Very few shots going to be taken because they don't have.
This is not minor. This is major. People are losing their lives.
Many shots left, but they said, we'd rather not get involved. I just want the fake news media and everybody else to remember.
That's not fake news. He just said it out of his own mouth. They said they don't want to get involved. What part of that? Like, what?
That was said because when I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries.
True definition of a narc. That's all I'm going to say.
Because I know that we'll protect them. And if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time, just like I knew about the Strait, that it would be a weapon. We strongly encourage other nations whose economy.
That part I don't believe. They did not anticipate that Iran was going to block that.
Economies depend on the Strait for blood. I mean, these people literally need it. 95% of their energy or their oil comes out of the Strait, and they should be in here very happily helping us. And we strongly encourage the other nations.
I'm just saying, in real life, can you imagine your friend saying, I can't help you, and then going behind your back and doing something that you asked them for help for, but getting it for themselves? He got to feel that way right now.
To get involved with us and get involved quickly and with great enthusiasm. I have that from a number of them, and I'd like to say their names.
But then again, this is the general rule of life. You got to be careful what you do to people. Karma is something else.
Frankly, I don't know if they would want me to or not, because maybe they don't want to be targeted. But I say, wouldn't matter if you're targeted or not, because this is a paper tiger that we're dealing with now. It wasn't a paper tiger 2 weeks ago. It's a paper tiger now.
Here's the deal. Why even put yourself out there like that when you could just go right to the direct supplier and just get it? And no, your country's not involved. No one is being sent out. Nobody is, being unalived in war or none of that.
They want people from other countries to come and provide assistance for the Strait of
Now listen again. Listen.
Hormuz to remain open, which of course from our perspective is already open. It is only closed to our enemies, to those who they, along with their allies, have launched a truly cowardly
Diamond Gang, they got us in a chokehold. They got us in a chokehold right now.
and unjust invasion against our beloved country. We have not sent any messages to anyone, nor are we making any requests for a ceasefire at this moment.
Did y'all hear that? They said they don't want to cease fire. They're not talking to anyone. They didn't make no deals, none of that. They are denying that they ever said that. This is why this live stream is called Who's Lying?
However, this war must absolutely be brought to a definitive end in a manner that ensures such an aggression can never, ever be repeated again in the future.
Minister, President Trump said this weekend he is not ready to make a deal with Iran because the terms aren't good enough yet. His administration is saying this war could last another 3.5 weeks or so. Has Iran asked for a ceasefire?
No, we never asked for a ceasefire.
Did y'all hear that? He said they never asked for a ceasefire.
And we have never asked even for negotiation.
They never asked for negotiations either. Trump said that they did. Who's lying?
Ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes. And this is what we have done so far, and we continue to do that until President Trump comes to the point that this is an illegal war with no victory. And, there are, people being killed only because President Trump wants to have fun. This is what he has said.
Have fun?
We are not. Yes, this is what he said.
Yeah, they claim they got him in the phone call. I didn't hear the phone call. That's why I didn't get that clip. If I don't hear the phone call, then it's just words.
That they are sinking, ships and targeting different places because it is fun. And the Secretary of War has said that there is no mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually a war crime. Even saying that is a war crime. So this is a war. This is a war of choice.
Diamond Gang, I'm going to search for that again. But like I said, it was in a clip, and someone else said it. Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
By President Trump.
And I hope that it wouldn't be that true, that he would say something like that. I really do.
And the United States. And we are going to continue our self-defense.
Well,
yes, we are in favor of a deal, but a fair and balanced deal.
You hear that? They are in favor of a deal, but a fair and balanced. Trump wants to tell them what to do without them having say-so, just like Venezuela. They're not doing it.
The problem is when Americans, the current administration, talk about a deal, in fact, they want to dictate what they want. And this is what we experienced. As recently as 2 months ago in New York. We are ready for negotiation, but not for dictation. We are ready to go for a deal, but for a fair and balanced deal, not a one-sided deal.
How prepared are you if there were a follow-on Israeli attack on Iran?
We are even more prepared than the previous war.
Can you elaborate?
So they're even more prepared than the previous war, Diamond Gang.
Right. In what way are you prepared?
Our missiles are, in a better position, quantity-wise and quality-wise. We have learned many lessons during the 12-day war. We have learned, we understood our.
This is not going to stop. Can y'all hit the like, please? I'm getting depressed looking at this. I watched it, but not like this.
Weak points and our points of strength and Israelis' weak points. They have worked on all of them and they are fully prepared, even better than the previous time. It doesn't mean that we want war. As the best way to prevent a war.
And I got this one clip of this one guy. I can't even think of the country. I done dealt with so many countries today. And he's like, we got to think of a way to just calm both sides down. Like, this is crazy.
Is to be prepared for that. Russians helped us a lot.
Did you hear that? Where that guy at? Cars. He said Russia helped us a lot. Cars, you said Russia wasn't assisting them. Are you still in the chat, man? He just said Russia's helping us. Let me take it back, y'all. I love to be right. I love to be right. Let's go.
Quantity-wise and quality-wise.
Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Please. It's lit over here.
We have learned many lessons during the 12-day war. We have learned, we understood our weak points and our points of strength, and Israelis' weak points. They have worked on all of them, and they are fully prepared, even better than the previous time.
Pay attention.
It doesn't mean that we want war. As you know, the best way to prevent a war is to be prepared for that. Russians helped us a lot.
Did you hear that? Russia helped them a lot. But here, we cut Russia some breaks. And I'm going to show y'all that. It's coming up soon.
12 days of war. And after that, we have been engaged in more cooperation than before. And this is why I'm telling you that we are...
Iran has declared it has 400 and...
Now listen to this. They still got supplies. Let's go.
40 kilos or so of nuclear material. Where...
Remember, Trump said we obliterated them. They still got kilos of that.
Where is that material now? Who has custody of it?
Well, we have not declared. This is verified and declared by the agency.
That's right.
This is not a secret. This is not a secret, you know. The agency have said in his many reports the exact amount of our enriched, nuclear material.
Remember we talked about it and they said that it was buried and it would take weeks to get it, special operations. And then they said they may go where it's supposed to be and it may be fake and they may have removed it. This is a lot. Hit the like, gang.
Yes. So where is it now? Who has custody of it?
So they are under the rubbles. You know, our nuclear facilities were attacked and everything is under the rubbles. Of course, there is the possibility to retreat them, but under the supervision of...
Now, what he's saying is if they retrieve them, what he is willing to do is like dilute it down and sell it as something else. So just pay attention, y'all.
Of the agency. If one day we come to the conclusion to do that, it would be under the supervision of the agency. But for the time being, we have no program, we have no plan to recover them from under the rubbles.
Am I understanding you here? Because I know that you said 48 hours before the U.S. strikes happened, you would personally...
You can't pay me to think otherwise. If they need that, they're going to get that under the rebels.
Offered to President Trump's negotiators to take that 440 kilo amount of 60% enriched material and to dilute it. You said Iran was ready to give that material away. This was in the deal that was also presented to Vice President.
Did y'all hear that? This was, remember I told y'all they said they were in negotiations and all of a sudden out of nowhere, the U.S. strikes. Now, that was part of their deal. This is what they were negotiating. To dilute that and sell it as something else, to go ahead and surrender this. I don't know what happened, y'all. I don't know.
Vance by Oman. Today, is Iran still willing to let go of that enriched uranium?
Well, that was one of the elements of a deal that we were negotiating with our, American interlocutors. That element dealt with the question of Iran's 60% enriched material. And I offered actually that we are ready to dilute those enriched material or downblend them, as they say, into lower percentage.
So he said he was willing to do this when they were in negotiations and they were about to go up, I think, for their 6th round, and we hit them. Let's go.
That was a big offer, a big concession, in order to prove that Iran has never wanted nuclear weapons and would never want them.
Are you willing to give that up now?
No.
Well, there is nothing.
Now he dancing around the table, y'all. Oh my God, playing hopscotch.
On the table right now. Everything depends on the future. If any time in the future we decide to enter into negotiation, with the US or other interlocutors, we may decide what to put on the table. For the time being.
So right now they're saying no deal, and I understand why, because we're at war. He don't want to negotiate right now. Things is just crazy.
Nothing is on the table.
We've been protecting these countries for years with NATO, because NATO.
Here he go, Diamond Gang. He can ready start talking mess. Here come the threats.
Was us. You can ask Putin. Putin fears us. He doesn't fear.
I don't know why he said that. Now, you know how men are. Putin fears us. Okay, let's see what Putin's response is after this. Let's go.
He has no fear of Europe whatsoever. He fears the United States of America and the military that was built by me in the first term.
We're safer.
What? This man said. He said he's scared of the military that was created by him in his first term. Trump's ego is out of control, y'all.
Let me ask you about these Russian sanctions. You obviously supported Russian sanctions.
Now, this is the deal. This is where we help Russia out. Remember, I kept saying that we helped them pay attention. We lifted sanctions, man. This is crazy, but they're helping Iran. This, I don't understand.
The administration has scaled some back, arguing removing them on Russian oil exports will ultimately help lower prices for consumers. My question for you, Senator, with Americans feeling pain at the pump, as you know, is easing pressure on Russia, which is temporary, worth it?
I think this is a terrible decision, but it is.
I do too. I think it's a terrible decision because they're helping Iran. Like, what?
One of the things that comes about as a result of the unpredictability of war. We are now giving Russia essentially $140 million a day by releasing these Russia from these sanctions.
Did y'all hear that? We're giving Russia $140 million by day. What in the world is going on, y'all? This is crazy.
$40 million a day when Iran is providing intelligence to when Russia's providing intelligence to Iran to better attack and kill American troops.
Does that make sense, gang? Did y'all hear that? Does that make sense? We're giving them 160 a day, okay, 160 million, while they're providing Iran with intelligence in what are those things? Drones. Let's go. Pay attention. It makes no sense. We're gonna go back over this because this is. Tell me what you guys think.
The United States of America and the military that was built by me in the first term.
We're safer.
Let me ask you about these Russian sanctions.
For the people that came in the door, hit the like for your girl, please and thank you. Let's go.
You obviously supported Russian sanctions. The administration has scaled some back, arguing removing them on Russian oil exports will ultimately help lower prices for consumers. My question for you, Senator, with Americans feeling pain at the pump, as you know, is easing pressure on Russia, which is temporary, worth it?
Pay attention.
I think this is a terrible decision, but it is one of the things that comes about as a result of the unpredictability of war. We are now giving Russia essentially $140 million a day.
$140 million a day. I said 160. My bag. Let's go.
By releasing these Russia from these sanctions, $140 million a day when Iran is providing intelligence to when Russia's providing intelligence to Iran to better attack and kill American troops. And you're darn right when you.
Diamond Gang, how do y'all feel about that? Put a 1 in the chat if you cool with it. Put a 2 in the chat if you think this is ridiculous. I need to see who's in my chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with this. Put a 2 if you feel like this is insane. We're helping Russia. And Russia's helping Iran. I know, Charlie. This is insane, yo. Yeah, please. Could y'all hit the like for your girl, please? Yeah, PNW. I can't get this is making me sick. I'm ready to try to get up off of this, for a little while and take a break because mentally it's a lot. Let's go.
I asked the secretary about this. It is rewarding Russia. and it is punishing.
There go my silent partner, the bronze glow. Hey, sis, I love you. Let's go.
Ukraine, and for the president, when he's criticized about lifting the sanctions on Russia, to somehow turn around and blame Zelensky, blame Ukraine. No, Russia is the problem here, and we are enriching our...
Yeah, Russia is the problem. This is crazy, man, but he cool with Putin. This is some backdoor double agent, hey, nobody trusts nobody type of mess going on. Let's go.
Our adversary Russia at Ukraine's expense, because the administration didn't properly foresee how much this war with Iran was going to raise oil prices and gas prices for Americans. So terrible and tragic decision, which only empowers Russia to make war more fully against Ukraine.
Couple more questions.
What is the reaction?
Now, this is NATO. He's speaking. He's going to, their defense minister, pay attention. Trump basically threatened this man. Let's go.
To Donald Trump's threat to NATO that if you don't help, it'll be bad for the alliance.
Did y'all hear that?
Well, first of all, I would like to say
Trump told them, if you don't help, it's going to be all bad for y'all. D is acting like a mob boss. Let's go back. She had to laugh. She had a smirk on her face when she said it. Pay attention. Like, this can't be real.
Raise oil prices and gas prices for Americans. So terrible and tragic decision, which only empowers Russia to make war more fully against Ukraine.
Couple more questions.
What is the reaction to Donald Trump's threat to NATO that if you don't help, it'll be bad for the alliance?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that Estonia has always been a very strong ally also to the United States. We've been together in Afghanistan. We've been together in Iraq. We've been together in the most toughest regions, like Helmand, for instance, and we've lost per capita the same amount of people and soldiers as the United States. So we've been, after 9/11, together with U.S., and definitely when one of the allies feels threatened or needs help, then of course all the allies will contribute to each other's security.
Donald Trump is demanding that now the United States needs help, specifically in reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Should NATO help?
Well, Strait of Hormuz is definitely an issue for all of us. It's not only the question of the United States, and the farmers of the United States, which we clearly understand are affected by this, and the season is coming. So it's the same also in Estonia.
NATO going to be forced to help them. That's it. That's all. They're going to be forced to do it.
That the season is coming, the oil price is going up, and nobody wants to see that. So when we want to fight with that, and when we want to be in normal situation again, when the oil price is normal, then we need to deal with that issue. And of course, collectively, we have to see it's not only the question of NATO. U.S. is also part of NATO. When NATO decides to collectively that we will act as NATO, this is one thing, but when allies will decide also together, then this
is the deal. They're talking about, they said no. They said no. Trump said if they don't help, it's going to be bad for NATO. He threatened them. I think they're going to end up helping. If he's waiting for other allies, they already gave their answer, and they're talking to Iran and doing it on their own, getting their own.
is another option. So let's see what will be the clear ask from the President of the United States or from the U.S. administration, and then we can make decisions. But definitely, we are all interested of that the Strait of Hormuz will be free for trade.
I think so. It sounds like to me he's saying if they do it, I'll do it, or we'll do it, or trying to get someone to go in. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's go.
I think we are not part of this war. We did not initiate it, but we are all affected by it. So I think there's a clear call here that international law must be respected, and it should be the responsibility of the concerned parties to find ways of ending the hostilities that now have great.
Now, this is, remember I said that there was a country and I couldn't think of, it was Norway. Norway is trying to calm both sides down. They're trying to stay neutral, but trying to be helpful. Let's go.
Impact around the world. We are concerned to see that there is still an escalation. There are still worries about how the world economy will be affected by the energy situation around the Gulf. For our part, we will use any channel we have, any opportunity we have to urge the parties to find a way that will not escalate this war. I think that's what we can say. It is not our war. It seems to us that the plan.
So he basically said, we're going to mind our business, kind of. We're not going to get in it. But if we could come up with a way to soothe each side and to calm both sides down, that's what we'll do. People are just, I mean, countries are hesitant. They don't want to get in it. Trump said, we don't need you. We the toughest, we the baddest, only to turn around and say, we need you.
For how it will develop is pretty unclear. And that's the danger with initiating wars, that they rarely follow a script.
Israeli military officials tell CBS.
Did you hear that in part? They rarely follow a script. And Trump thought he had a script. He thought it was going to go exactly the way. We're going to go in there like we did Venezuela. We're going to take over. They're going to listen to us. We're going to dictate and tell them what to do. And it didn't happen. Let's go.
Yes, News, they've launched 7,600 strikes against Iran. That's in addition to U.S. airstrikes. Yet they say thousands more targets remain. They expect this combat mission to go on for at least another
7,600 strikes.
3 weeks, but Iran is striking back too.
The U.S. and Israel's bombing campaign across Iran shows no sign of slowing. Explosions across Lebanon, too, in Israel's other war against Iran's proxy, Hezbollah, with more than 850
people, Diamond Gang. That's crazy.
Yet Iran and Hezbollah launched one of their most intense rocket and missile strikes across Israel since fighting.
Did y'all see that? Every time they strike Iran, they get Israel.
Despite claims by the Trump administration, the war has been won.
Administration.
Iran's foreign minister dismissed President Trump's statement that Iran wants a ceasefire deal on Face the Nation with Margaret.
They said, no, we're not stopping. I don't know why he got on TV, on the news saying that. I don't know why Trump did that.
Brennan.
No, we never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes.
Iran has defied the bombardment, launching strikes on the U.S. Embassy compound in.
I told y'all that yesterday. That wasn't really largely in the news. They hit the biggest embassy in the world, the U.S. Embassy.
Baghdad. The Pentagon identified 6 crew members of a refueler that crashed after a mid-air collision over Iraq. Among them, 28-year-old Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons, a boom operator. The worst fears of his mother, Cheryl, realized.
They were lined up out on the porch. And I was like,
this is so sad, y'all. This is what I'm saying. This gotta stop.
Got to be kidding me.
Now, among the thousands more U.S. troops being sent to this region is a contingent of 2,200 Marines and an.
I showed y'all that too. Those Marines going over. I showed y'all that. That was Saturday.
Amphibious assault ship, which may signal a new phase to the fight by giving more options to U.S. military commanders here.
Well, guys, Benjamin Netanyahu has put all the.
Now that's proof. They tried to say he passed away, but he's alive and he gave proof. Let's go.
Rumors to rest about his supposed death. He posted a video showing that he is alive and well at a coffee shop.
שלכם היא מדהימה, נותנת כוח לי, לממשלה, לצה"ל, למוסד. אנחנו עושים דברים שאני לא יכול לשתף.
That's who Iran is vowing. They said they're going to get him. They want him so bad.
ברגע זה, אבל עושים דברים מכים באיראן חזק מאוד, גם ביום הזה, גם בלבנון, ממשיכים. אתם אומרים לי להמשיך? אני אומר לכולכם.
They want Ben bad. That's Trump's sidekick.
גם אתם תמשיכו. תמשיכו להישמע להוראות פיקוד העורף, כל הזמן, להישמע להוראות פיקוד העורף, וגם לראשי הערים, להיות תמיד ליד מרחב מוגן. ואנחנו נקל ככל שהדבר ניתן. ותודה לך על הקפה, הוא מצוין. אני לא יודע לגבי הקלוריות, זה נראה לי מסוכן.
He said that he was dying for a coffee, and the only thing he's dying for are his people, the people of Israel. That he's alive and well, and says everyone that needs to take shelter should be taking shelter. Does this do it? Does this prove that he is alive and well? Looks pretty much like it does to me, but let me know what you guys.
They got mad and tried to say he was They said he was unalive because they claimed that the last video that he did was AI. I don't know. You just never know with AI.
Stay, comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Here he is again, walking through, debunking the death report. So he debunked that, but he's a target as well. He's definitely a target. These are fake news. The prime minister is fine. He's in his office. Iran vows to pursue and unalive him. So Iran, they got a bounty on his head, y'all.
This is wild. MAGA commentator Tucker Carlson.
Yo, pay attention. Now we're coming to the end, but pay attention. I want to, for some reason, I believe that he did tell them. I do. Just pay attention to the story.
A video last night saying that he may be getting arrested for acting as an agent of Iran. Just watch.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war.
They said he gave them heads up, y'all. He really might get in trouble.
They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty serious. And here's the crazy thing about this story. We know for a fact that Tucker Carlson visited the White House before Trump launched his war against Iran and was essentially telling him, don't do it. And so if Tucker Carlson took the information from that meeting with Trump.
Y'all, I think he did this. I don't know. I just got a feeling.
Trump and told people in Iran ahead of time, that's a really serious crime. Carlson was very vague throughout that video, so we don't have that many details right now. But if he gave Iran,
I'm definitely going to keep up with that story, y'all,
on information ahead of the United States launching a war, yeah, he's in some trouble.
The corruption from this Trump administration is quite astronomical, and it just got worse as the New York Times is reporting that Jared Kushner has been soliciting funds for his private equity firm, Affinity Partners, trying to raise $5 billion from Middle Eastern countries as he's negotiating the nuclear deal with Iran. Now that
I don't understand why they keep getting caught up in this mess, but these last couple of clips it's about these type of things.
The deal has ultimately proven not to work out as Trump launches his war against Iran, but he's still raising money, trying to raise money from all these countries. He's already gotten $2 billion.
How you getting money from the Middle East, though? That's insane.
From Saudi Arabia after Trump left the White House during his first term, and he's going to get more from Saudi Arabia, more than likely, because part of their deal is they have the first dibs to invest whenever he tries to do rounds of investment. And he's gotten money from Qatar, he's gotten money from the United Arab Emirates, and likely more. And Jared Kushner is not even an official government employee. He holds no
Kushner need to stop that.
Official government position. So the question is, what authority did he even ever have to negotiate on behalf of the United States, other than just being the president's son-in-law? So this raises tons of huge red flags.
This is so embarrassing, your son-in-law.
All this seems to be highly illegal, and they need to be held accountable. He should not be trying to fundraise while negotiating peace on behalf of the United States. This is corruption on steroids and on lots of other drugs. This is out of control, and it's just happening right out in the open, and no one is doing anything about it. Let me know what you think should happen. Comment, like, share.
Now, this last piece is about Trump using those photographs of a dignified transfer. This was the most disrespectful thing ever.
Spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
So Donald Trump is facing a lot of backlash right now after using an image of a fallen soldier as part of a fundraising email. His political action committee sent out this message, and the photo comes from a Dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base. A Dignified transfer is an event where the remains of U.S. service members killed overseas are brought back home, and in this case, the transfer was for 6 service members who were killed during the war with Iran. Trump attended this event with members of his administration last Saturday. Now, these affairs are considered extremely solemn, so using that image in a fundraising email is drawing a lot of criticism. In the email, the photo shows Trump's...
The best thing for them to do right now at this point is pull that photo.
Saluting a flag-draped transfer case of one of the service members. And the image is surrounded by bright yellow buttons encouraging supporters to claim your spot in what the PAC calls a national security briefing membership. Just below the photo, the message warns there are very few spots remaining. And if you click that image, it takes you directly to a donation page for Trump's Political Action Committee. Screenshots of the email spread quickly online, with some Democratic lawmakers and former national security officials criticizing the move. We did reach out to the White House to ask them about this, but we did not hear back.
But
he thought he was going to hear from them? Okay.
Had a death, and we had another death.
Yo, he told this man's business. This is the last clip. This was not cool. And then I'll go to the chat and take some comments.
We had some things, and it's, but we're looking very strong. We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it? He'll be proud. Go ahead. Tell him the story.
Okay, well.
He's laughing. Wait till y'all hear this story if you guys didn't hear it already.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He's laughing.
Congressman Neil Dunn of...
This man only had a certain amount of time to live. Just listen to this. And then, well, this is it. This is the last clip.
Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
What was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Oh, God.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay. That's
that wasn't public. He was laughing, gang. This is sick.
It was grim. That's what I was going to say. I don't think
with a heart problem, by the way. This was a heart problem.
He just like that's what
this
I'm
is
saying.
the weekend.
All right, that's it. But he just went all in. Yeah, with a heart problem. Like he can't even keep his mouth shut about that. This is insane. Let me go to my comments section and see what you guys are saying. God, that was insane. Oh, y'all. Let me take a look, see what you guys are saying. Oh my goodness. You said what the F? Funny. Hey Mike, what's up? JK has made so much money because of his what? Is it FIL? I'm not sure what that means. What's up, silent partner? They say follow the money and see where it ends up. And that's a fact. I'm going to do another Epstein live. Y'all, they left that plane, the Lolita, abandoned. I got some stuff to tell y'all. There was still paperwork with their names on it. Jeffrey Angus Lane. You said why they say troops ready to leave post. Yeah, I can see people going AWOL. This is scary. Liars are going to lie. That's a Fendi fact. I love the comment section. I do. One of these previous comments was sent to the FBI. The last person that said something like that was just sentenced to 12 years in jail. My. I don't know if you're calling me a liar, but okay. This is snowballing downhill. Definitely. Trump is a chump. We are uniting, guys. Mr. Tucker is innocent. I hope he is. I hope so. I pray that man is innocent, because if you gave them heads up, you was wrong for that. Now, I might not be for this war, but I'm not for that. That's crazy. Yes, please hit the like and please subscribe to the channel, please, gang. I work hard. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I did a 16-hour shift. We had a bad storm, so we was out there. A lot of people was with thousands of people was out without power yesterday. So I was working. The best way to avoid any of this is painfully simple. Do not dictate to people. I agree, William. Let them sort their own affairs. Give impartial support. This is the best comment of the night right now. I agree, William, wholeheartedly. Who says save King Epstein? Shot is crazy. Y'all need to stop. Sorry, Democrats, but America thinks your idea sucks. Okay, Jason, and to us, your family. Let's see. What? Protect BB in the name of Jesus. Amen. Hey, I don't know what your nationality is, but yeah, all opinions are respected. This is hard for me to deal with. It's hard for me to deal with too. I might take a break. That's why I said we might have a live on Epstein, because yeah, this is a lot. It's a lot. So you said he is the biggest threat. Netanyahu, I can't pronounce his name, Ben, for the Middle East. Yeah, I call him Ben. I can't pronounce all those names. It's too much for me. Dang, that's crazy. I have news for you. They want the U.S. more. I know they were chanting that, Tammy, and that's insane. They were. Let's see. I'll take a couple more comments and then. Oh, wow. I've been live for a while. Well, almost an hour and a half. Let's see. Trump is crossing the line. He paralyzed Venezuela's government for oil. Now he visits cooking in the grill for oil, which he don't expect Iranian power. Good luck. Yeah, he definitely underestimated them. Like, I don't think they thought they would be bold enough to do that, you know? Okay, you said the war was planned before most of us were even born. No one can stop this. The good news is Tel Aviv being turned into rubble is a sign that the Epstein gang is losing their grip on power. I'm not sure what the connection is. Well, I kind of, because Jeffrey Epstein was attached to a little bit of everybody. A little bit of everybody. You said orange is a pathological liar. These comments be killing me. Oh, God. You said orange is a pathological liar. What do you think he should have said? I wish I would have seen this. I'm thinking that was a comment for me. 30% of oil passed through Hormuz Canal and paid in petrodollars. Yeah. That's the only way they can get it. They don't want the American dollar. F Trump, get that $80 million. Oh my gosh. Get that $80 million bounty on Trump. He's at the White House. Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't say that. No, you can't say that. What is wrong with y'all? Oh, boy. I got to delete that. You can't. That's like kind of like a lightweight threat. Trump voters should fight in Iran. No. Y'all, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not for none of this that's going on, but I'm just not that cruel. I love Russia, so powerful. Really? Yikes. Okay. Let's take a couple more comments. Giving Russia relief to get forecourt gas prices down temporarily. Attack on Iran, the biggest oil dispensary in the world. Then finding out that Russia in Iran a long time. Hold fast. William, you're funny. Yeah, that's crazy. You gave Russia that relief and then turned around and Russia is helping Iran get us. Like, oh God, y'all. But we'll see. I say that I'm going to give it a break. Who knows? It's like as soon as I go to look, it's everywhere because I'm everywhere. So that's all I get in my feed all day long. It's politics. I don't even see the Epstein stuff coming up on my feed as much, you know? So I don't know, gang, what tomorrow will bring, but I know I'm going live. I was so sad I wasn't able to go live yesterday. What's up, sweet chili? David, sounds to us you talking from experience. What'd he say? What did David say? You sound what? Sound like Crockett the Crank. What? Who, David? Who sounds like that? I know you're not saying I do. I know you're not saying that. You couldn't be saying that. The most dumb president of all time, Trump the diaper filler, aka the felon. Yeah, he's definitely a felon. That's a known fact. There's no lies told there. Oh, boy. What? I know you didn't call my sweet chili a crackhead. David, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool at all. All right, Diamond Gang. Because I have to get up bright and early, I am going to go ahead and end this live. I want to say thank you to everybody that showed up, showed out, hit that like button. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. Maybe become a member. I want to start my members only live soon. Okay. I want to thank every last, you too. Sweet Chili, I need you to make a comment on one of my posts. I need to ask you something. Mike, I'm going to need you too. Sweet Chili and Mike, I'm going to need you guys as mods. I don't want to put no pressure on you guys, but I'm going to give you guys a wrench. So please comment on either my community posts, something. I need more moderators. Okay? So Sweet Chili and Mike, I'm going to need y'all. I'm going to need y'all. You said, okay, bet, Mike. Sweet Chili, you still here? What you think about it? Let me know. All right, gang. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Thanks and shouts out to all my beautiful mods. I love you guys tremendously. Keep your notifications on because your girl will be back. I'm just not sure on what. But I'll make sure that I love you, EJ. Thank you. But I will make sure that I post the live stream early so you guys will know what's up. And I'll probably go live around the same time, 8:30 tomorrow. So for the ones that's in here, please hit the like on your way out. Keep me in the algorithm, Diamond Gang. All right, good night. I'm out.
It's your under the crease. Sip with me. I'll pour it hot, so hot. I'll pour it sweet, so sweet. Spilling his tea, spilling and sipping his tea, spilling and sipping his tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your under the degree, feeling great, spilling tea. Have a seat and join me. Sip some tea, unwind with me. Let's grab a snack and talk some smack. I'm your girl, I got your back. I got the news, I got the views. I bet you can't wait, I know you can't wait to sip this tea. Sip this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Spilling and sipping this tea. Thanks for watching me, tuning in, subscribing, hitting that like, smash that like. I don't bite, no. It's your line of the degree, shining bright, set the stage. Hollywood dreams, red carpet scenes, glitter and glow, the secrets I know. Drama with flair, I serve it rare. I got the scoop, I got the proof. I know you can't wait, so come and escape and sip this tea. Sip with me, spilling this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea, spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping and spilling this tea, sipping and sipping this tea, spilling and sipping this tea.